We often wish we could travel back in time, not to change the world, but to whisper a few essential truths into the ears of our younger selves. The impulse isn't always dramatic. It's rarely about avoiding catastrophe. More often, it's tender. A desire to lend strength, to clear the fog, to extend a hand toward the version of ourselves that didn't yet know what we know now. This wish reveals that we are not static, and that wisdom, when it arrives, carries with it both the urge to look back and the responsibility to look forward with intention. I wish I had known is a lament and a statement of growth. At the heart of this yearning lies a paradox. We cannot help our past selves. Time, in its inflexible forward motion, forbids it. Yet the desire to do so, if we stay with it long enough, becomes a mirror, revealing what matters most to us now. It asks, what would you have told yourself then? What clarity do you carry today that once eludes you? And how might that clarity, that hard-earned understanding, shape how you speak to yourself in the present? Clarity is not the same as certainty. Clarity often arrives when we begin to question our most rigid certainties. Many of us move through life on autopilot, nudged by unexamined assumptions about success, identity, love, or living well. We act out scripts handed to us by family, culture, or fear. Eventually, often through pain, disillusionment, or sheer exhaustion, we begin to ask different questions. We pause, we notice, and in that space, a subtle form of clarity can emerge, not as a thunderclap, but as a quiet reshuffling of inner furniture. The philosopher Epictetus wrote, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." In other words, it is not experience alone that wounds or liberates us, but the meaning we attach to it. Our younger selves often lacked the framework to reframe pain, slow down in the face of confusion, or step back from the chaos of self-doubt. But now we do. We've learnt that emotions are not emergencies, rejection is not proof of worthlessness, and comparison is often just the mind's clumsy attempt to locate itself. And so, helping our past self becomes a form of assisting our present self. The compassion we imagine extending backwards can be extended inwards now. If you would forgive your younger self for not knowing, why withhold that forgiveness from the current one? If you would urge them to breathe, be kinder to themselves, and trust the slow unfurling of time, why not live by that advice today? Mindset is not simply a set of beliefs, but a posture toward life. Carol Dweck famously spoke of the growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be developed through effort and learning. Yet mindset also includes subtler tones. Do we meet the world with suspicion or curiosity, with control or surrender? Do we try to prove our worth or express our truth? These are not fixed traits, but living dynamics that can shift gently over time. Intention, too, is often misunderstood. It is not a rigid plan or a list of goals, but a way of aligning our inner compass. To live with intention means to return, again and again, to what matters most, even when it's inconvenient, even when we forget. It's the slow and quiet work of asking, what do I want to stand for in this moment? And letting that answer shape the next small step. In helping our past self, if only in our imagination, we become more equipped to support our future self. Perhaps even more significantly, we begin to recognize that the person we once were is not separate from the person we are. They are still with us, not as ghosts, but as threads in the fabric of who we've become. To help them is to speak kindly to the frightened parts of ourselves, to offer the clarity we've cultivated, not with arrogance, but with empathy. Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." Intention is our why. Clarity helps us see the how. The mindset of how we speak to ourselves when no one is listening sustains us on the long road between the two. You cannot help your past self, but become the person they need. You can live in such a way that, were they to meet you now, they would feel understood, perhaps even proud. And in doing so, you help someone else, the self you are still becoming.